Welcome to the Really Likeable Geeks podcast. I'm Steve.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Stuart.
And this is the podcast where we talk about nerd stuff and things that keep you from going outside, like video games, comic books, anime, and other nerd things alike. How's it going, guys?
Swell.
Swell, huh?
Swimmingly.
Peachy.
Awesome.
Stupendous.
I'm
No,
glad.
I'm stupendous.
How's your week been?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about this week. Of course, there's updates about the Vic Mignogna thing. It's been a big deal.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, let's not talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The Vic Mignogna thing. So last week we had the podcast where we talked about all the allegations and everything that happened against him and all the people that were, involved in some weird way, whether they were actually directly involved.
We laid out the facts we knew.
Whatever. We laid it all out there and everyone's up to speed. But in just a short amount of time, a lot has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Vic got a lawyer.
Yeah.
He lawyered up. And
Jesse Pridemore deleted her Twitter.
Jesse Pridemore deleted her Twitter.
Which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that doesn't make you look any more
Did you?
guilty.
I don't know.
Bitch.
Like a dumb bitch.
She had this. She had this whole Twitter rant about taking responsibility for what you've done. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then someone I had never, another cosplayer I had never heard of. Her name is Eve Flautas.
Oh, yeah.
I had never heard of her, but now I'll keep an eye out for her because she seemed pretty funny and all right. She's like, oh, it's funny you mentioned like taking responsibility. What about that time you broke my arm and didn't like pay any of my medical bills?
Oh, right.
And
like,
laughed at me.
And laughed at me because you did that.
Yep.
Like, ooh.
Ooh, didn't think that was going to come out, now did you?
Better start a Kickstarter so I can move.
Oh, yeah, she started that GoFundMe.
Help me, guys.
yeah.
I'm
Help me
Help me,
poor.
I'm
Los
poor.
Angeles is expensive.
Yeah.
Don't live in LA then.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that LA is expensive.
Yeah.
Anywhere in California.
Every-
That's not news to anyone.
Yeah.
But you can literally go outside the city and take a train into LA and pay at least $1,000 less for an
Oh, yeah.
apartment.
Like where I live, like where we all live,
Yeah.
We're
it's
like
not-
$2,000 less for an
Yeah.
apartment.
No,
yeah,
seriously.
It's crazy.
We live in
But
SoCal,
she,
but like
she wants to live downtown, like Garment
Yeah.
District. Yeah, it's stupid.
the whole purpose of her GoFundMe was to...
My
in
Beverly
case-
Hills house is
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, in case things happen to me and I'm left high and dry. It's like, no, you screwed up. You realized it.
No.
What do you mean,
So-
in case things happen to you?
Yeah, things are already happening. I mean, I can
doesn't
go
want
to the
to live by
GoFundMe
the
and find
icky
exactly what the
minorities.
description was.
I have a question. If I go commit a murder and the cops start an investigation, can I do the GoFundMe during the investigation? But guys, in case I get convicted of this murder I did, give me some money so I'm good when I get out.
that I didn't do until proven guilty.
Allegedly. No, her asking, and then Marshy too asking for money.
I don't know about that one.
She also has one.
Oh, really?
She also has a Kickstarter asking for money. It's like, wait,
Who's Marshy?
she's the other
Marshy.
Sorry, Marchie. I don't know her last name.
Margie.
She's not important.
Here's the Jesse Pridemore thing.
She's got another. She's another voice actress for Funimation. That she was. It was her and Monica Rial that accused Vic that worked with him. But then we came to find out that I didn't know this. Maybe you did, but it was news to me when I think I saw it on Yellow Flash, his channel, which
Yeah.
he's doing good work too. Check him out. That both of their husbands are executives at Funimation.
Yeah.
And they were the
Yeah.
one in charge of the investigation.
Yep. Crazy, right?
That doesn't seem like a conflict of interest
I
at
will say
all.
No, not at
that's a thing. That's called conflict of interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, it's fine. Also, they had another investigation in December that found nothing.
Crazy how that works, right?
Oh, we didn't find anything that time. Let's just do it again. What?
Yep.
Yeah, she's got a Kickstarter now too.
Stupid.
I don't understand. I'm going to go slightly off topic and just go, I don't understand the whole concept of a Kickstarter for that purpose.
Yeah.
I get people who have a Patreon who also have a job, but they want to have their hobby, their thing that they like to do, enjoy doing, to bring in some revenue. I get that. I get people who sell stuff on Etsy. I have a job. That's my income. But I want to make some money off of this side thing I'm doing.
It's a hobby.
Right. But I want to make some money
there
off
are
of what I'm doing.
Yeah, there are
As
people.
I mean,
opposed to...
not every person's going to be a Jessica Negri.
But
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, you already have an income. Why are you going to hop on a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe and be like, guys, can you just give me more money?
Help
What?
me, I'm
Yeah.
poor.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, here's what it says.
What do you mean
on,
just give you more money? Does that work? Can you give me more money? I'd
Only
love
if
that.
you have boobs.
Yeah. Jesse
Exactly.
Pridemore.
It's 2019. We can make it happen.
Yeah, seriously.
Right?
Jesse Pridemore's GoFundMe is being raised by Lindsay Aries. On behalf of her, and it says this is what it says in the description for her. Jesse Pridemore wrote an article regarding being the victim of sexual assault by an unnamed voice actor, Todd Hapricorn,
I wonder who.
and later out on themselves as sexual harassment and physical violence at the hands of another. Since then, she's continued suffering harassment at every corner of the internet, being threatened with legal action simply for telling the truth in an attempt to protect others.
No, you're
Except
telling-
you haven't been telling the truth, and she never told the truth because it came out to be a lie.
Yeah.
Also,
It came
people
out
are mean on the
factually to be a
internet.
lie.
Second question.
Here's the other thing. If what you're saying is true, then you getting sued, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because you have the truth on your side.
Exactly.
The only
Truth
time
will
you
out.
have to worry about getting sued for slander is if you're lying.
Yeah, truth will out. Your question?
Oh, I didn't know she was actually being sued.
Yeah, she
That's
should
why.
be.
That's why Vic has his legal.
No, I
team.
get that, but
He's-
that's what I was saying. Like, I thought his legal team was to protect him, not to go on
no,
the
because
offensive as well.
because
no,
they committed.
he's going, fuck all you.
I get that.
You're lying about
I hear
me.
that now, and I respect that. That's cool and all. I just didn't know that at first, so that's why I'm sitting here going like, what legal action has she been?
Also, all
That's
the
what-
girls,
What legal action has been taken against
That's what
her?
people are saying is like, oh, it's not a GoFund. Her and Marchie's GoFundMe isn't for like moving or whatever it says it is. It's for a legal,
For legal purposes.
like a retainer for a lawyer.
Yeah, because he's gonna fuck them up. And then those girls that were being put in like the pictures and videos
Yeah.
that they were like,
They're
oh, he
witness
assaulted
1 and 2.
these girls. They're like, nah, he didn't, and
Yeah.
so they should hop on that lawsuit.
No, they're witnesses 1 and 2. All of his fans that are part of the Risen Bull Rangers.
Yeah.
That their pictures and videos were used out of context and without their permission.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Nick Rietta, he launched a GoFundMe for Vic, for Vic's legal team. Nick Recchietta, law and the host of the YouTube channel, which has the same name. It's
Sure.
Recchietta Law. He launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise funds for Vic Mignogna's legal defense fees. It comes after, all this crap that's happened, of course, all the allegations and all this stupid crap that's totally bull.
Sure.
Vic went out and he made tons of statements saying that it was all, it's all way off basis, doesn't hold any water, any of these like allegations against him essentially. So Ricky at his GoFundMe states the fund is set up for his legal defense fees. It goes to state that he might be filing lawsuits against a number of individuals and corporations. Gee whiz, I wonder who. Can't figure those ones out.
Funimation's owned by Sony now, so
There are many possible defendants in different jurisdictions, from boring bloggers to multi-million, even multi-billion-dollar
Anime
corporations.
News Network.
It takes
Because the only one that's really like a slam dunk to me, and this is just growing up with parents who are lawyers, is the Anime News Network one.
yeah,
That's a
big
slam
deal.
dunk.
Yeah.
They took pictures
from a private
from someone that
Private
they
Facebook
knew
group.
that it wasn't.
yeah. And they
Like,
took
we
those
know that
photos.
the
Also
person
without
who's-
their permission.
Yeah, we know that the person who's in this picture isn't the person that we're talking to.
right.
But we're going to run it as if it is, and we're going to make up some stuff. And then when the woman actually came forward who was in the pictures and said, hey, I'm actually this person.
The person, yeah.
What you're saying or whoever you're talking to is lying and is not me.
Yep.
Please take it down.
Yeah.
Let's take it down.
And then they don't.
And then they didn't for a week. They've removed the photos now.
Oh,
But the
okay.
fact that they printed it as if it was the truth
Yeah.
is just slander.
It's done. You're done.
Yeah, that's slander.
Ricky is aiming to raise $100,000, which I think they reached it. I'll check it here in a minute. In an update, he indicates that any excess of the goal will be donated to one of the Salvation Army Dallas domestic violence and abuser shelters in Dallas County, Texas. That was something that Vic wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
He did it on his release
He's a
about it
nice
on Twitter.
guy.
No, he's
Also,
He
he
is.
was like, crying when this came out. Like I felt
yeah, he did
so
that
bad for him.
convention. He
Yeah.
was crying during it, and he did it at another one too, another thing. But Ricchietta got authorization from Vic to donate the excesses to the Salvation Army. He's taken to Twitter to advise GoFundMe that the campaign might be false flagged because there were people that were going in and trying to get the GoFundMe taken down for obvious reasons. And so Ricchietta, his actual law firm Twitter reached out to GoFundMe and let them know,
Yeah.
So GoFundMe is like, don't worry, man, got you, man.
Yeah.
I got your back, you know.
Well, they better.
GoFundMe's like, did you break our terms of service? All right, carry on.
Well, to be fair, though, we've seen a lot of other platforms where people
That's
have
true.
not broken terms of service.
That's
and
true.
they've still been kicked off. Like,
That is-
So it's nice that they're
oh,
keeping their
Sargon.
integrity.
The
Sargon,
GoFundMe-
yeah, Sargon of Akkad kicked off Patreon for no reason.
Yeah. The GoFundMe is at $90,000.
That's cool.
Nice.
In 11 days.
Go check that out if you guys got extra money.
I want to see if
around.
there's any updates on this GoFundMe really quick here. Read the latest update. You may have noticed change in the beneficiary on the page, and I want to update everyone on what this is and what it means. We have linked the GoFundMe account to the law firm's IOLTA account. An IOLTA is a trust required by Texas law, and the acronym stands for Interest on Lawyers Trust.
Yeah.
So it is like a legit thing. These accounts are designed
No,
to hold
it
money.
goes directly to the retainer.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
behalf of the clients, and are accounted for separately
So
from
at
the law
no
firm's
at,
funds.
at no time will Vic touch this money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
that
any
makes
interest
sense.
earned by these accountants actually gets forwarded to the state to fund legal aid programs.
Yep.
The beneficiary shift indicates that the senior partner of the law firm, Ty Beard, who's a named party on the IOLTA trust account, the firm is Beard Harris Bullock Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
With this transition, the money will be moved into the account and billing will be done against this amount. Again, any remainder will be donated to the Salvation Army shelter. Please understand that the GoFundMe will remain open. You can continue to support even after it's done, because any money that's left over after you continue to
Will still go
will
to
Salvation Army.
Yeah.
So thank you for your continued support of Vic. I look forward to updating you with more information as it becomes public.
that's
So a
a
lot of
much-
people were thinking that the money was something Vic was going to get, and if shit went
No,
down, then he
generally-
was going to use that. But
generally,
actually, what it is
like,
going into a legal bank
Like
that can take care of all the
when
fees.
Jeremy from the quartering, remember he got attacked at outside of was it Gen Con? I think it was Gen Con.
It was Gen Con. Was it
Yeah, he
out
got-
or in? I think it was
We
in.
talked
no,
about-
he was at a bar during Gen Con.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Oh.
and
Because I thought he got attacked indoors.
no, Ethan Van
I
Sciver
could look it up.
started the GoFundMe for Jeremy.
Yes.
If
In
you
the same
guys-
fashion, though, it was a retainer.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Jeremy does the quartering, and he also has a great website called exclusivelygames.com. Ethan Van Sciver, comic artist pro secrets.
Oh yeah,
Big fans of both of
yeah.
them. So
Hey, I want to tack on something else too, to this conversation about Vic Mignogna. There was something that came out. There was a convention that was coming up, and they basically Monica Rial was going to be at the convention.
you're talking
And-
about Pensacon.
Pensacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk about
Monica Rial was gonna be at this convention, and I believe I think it's already passed, or has it?
They
I
did.
don't
It's
even know.
passed because they banned Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
That's right. They said anybody who goes into that convention hall with Monica Rial during her panel and says anything in regards to these allegations with Vic and the situation will be escorted off the property and could face like charges.
Charges for what?
But I don't know what the hell the
so
charges are.
Pensacon
Even though
deleted
they
its
bought it
whole
to
Yeah,
Twitter
it.
and then deleted their Twitter
because they deleted their Twitter because of all the backlash. People
Okay.
were upset.
I mean-
they're like, "What do you mean? I can't ask a question?"
Also, they paid to get in.
I
Yeah,
guess-
I'm paying to get in here. If she
I-
doesn't want to deal with questions, then she cannot do it.
I mean, I guess I can understand where they're coming from, where they say, like, if you bring this topic up, we're going to ask you to leave the room kind of
Why
thing.
don't
Like,
you ask
No,
them
they
just
said
to
escorted
politely
and
stop
I get
banned.
that. But
first?
okay, so let's say you say escort it out. Like, we do not want this topic coming up. That's not the point of this whatever, this panel.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up. Don't ask it. If you do, we're kicking you out.
What
That
happened
seems
to the-
fair to me.
to the
But like,
three
what
rules?
charges are you?
She-
What charges are you going to put on that?
But in
You can't.
in
There are no
response to this,
charges.
because people were talking to her. People were like tweeting at her, like, "Hey, like, why are you lying about this when we have evidence?" Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, thanks. I just screenshotted this tweet and sent it to Homeland Security."
Yeah. Like Homeland Security's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Bitch, Homeland Security has bigger issues than Twitter.
Yeah.
Also,
You on
were-
Twitter?
Bitch,
seriously.
Were
Homeland
they
Security
actually
has that
threatening
tweet
you?
already. It was
No,
in
it's
your
just
phone.
people asking questions.
You
at
didn't
her.
need to screenshot it.
Fucking
They
so-
already have it.
Homeland Security's just like, block.
They block her.
Yeah, like what? What do you think Homeland Security is going to do about it?
Seriously.
Homeland Security's fighting terrorists.
Yeah.
Like that is what I think you meant FBI.
FBI.
I think you meant FBI.
NSA.
But even FBI is like, Yeah,
Ice.
we got bigger problems. Like we got bigger
Dude, the
things going
FBI was
on.
looking at her face through her camera while she was screenshotting it, dude.
You're like,
People
oh,
were
I gotta
tweeting-
ignore that one.
To Pentagon.
They're like, oh boy, here we go again.
On Twitter, they were saying people were tweeting to
Her
Pentagon.
FBI agent must be so tired of her.
This guy at RubyFan10,000. If you're a supporter of #IStandWithVic and are going to Pensacon this month, DM me a response from Pensacon. Yes, please do. We would love to have some folks arrested. This is from
Arrested. Yeah, that person got fired. Whoever ran their social media
For what?
immediately got fired.
Sadly,
Cool.
this was not the extent of the Pensacon threads. In an unrelated thread, users were discussing which professional voice actors had taken a stance against Mananya. In the thread, one user mentions that Monica Real will be a guest
Oh.
at Pensacon. A Mananya supporter in the thread stated that if she saw Real, he would boo her. And then they responded to her basically by saying that you'd be removed from the convention in cuffs.
Wait, is it a he or a she?
I
Because
think
you
it's
said both.
Did I? I'm sorry. It's a he. Sorry.
But is it just because it's a dude? So what if a
I don't
girl
like
was gonna
you.
do it?
I think
Boo.
it matters.
I can understand
No,
you
but that's
asking
what
me to
I'm
leave
asking. I wonder if
because
it
I'm making a
would.
scene, but
Oh.
you can't arrest me for it.
Anyone who brings up the issue will be asked to leave. If they do not, law enforcement, who will be on hand, will take over. That is not what the convention is about. So, and then Dylan Crook said, well, have fun calling the police on anyone who asks her question. And Pensacon says, we will. Have fun in jail. He said, well, I'm not even going, and I don't even live in the U.S. And Pensacon said, then our conversation is over.
Also,
Yeah,
why
let's
can't-
talk about
no,
other
no.
because
Okay.
Sean Schemmel is also
why
a
can't they just
nutbag.
ask them nicely to stop first? Why is there immediate reaction to like, kick them the fuck out?
Because they're fucking assholes. That's
Because they
why.
can't
'Cause they're
handle it
stupid.
because they know that it's true.
Because they don't want to. They don't want to. I could understand if people were asking the question and Monica Real just decided to dismiss it, whatever.
Or
but
she
it's
could
different
ask
when
nicely.
I think that Monica Real and some of these Vic supporters talked to Pensacon and made a deal out of it. Maybe
No,
that's a
because Sean-
conspiracy
no,
thing.
no,
I don't know.
No, because that's exactly, and this is also related because Sean Schemmel or Schemmel or however the fuck
Sean,
you say it.
Sean Schimmel.
Whatever. He's a bitch. However, he's the voice of Goku,
Yeah.
and he is like the biggest fucking prima donna, and he's gotten people removed and banned from conventions before.
Yeah.
Because a couple times,
You mean
when-
the people that pay money?
no
that
other,
pay
he's
his
the voice
job?
actor. He's the voice actor for Goku.
That's
so
what I'm
he's
saying.
told.
So he's getting people kicked out that support him and essentially pay his bills.
Not only
essentially.
that, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want any of the other voice actors who have played Goku to be at any of the Dragon Ball conventions.
Yeah.
Like he's demanded of the convention that they not be hosted.
Yep.
And then he's like on, and this is why he's deleted his Twitter twice now, is because he's like, oh, it's so tiring when everyone's always asking me when the next like
Oh,
blah
when
blah
the
blah
next
DBZ is going
season's
to come
coming
out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you know,
and,
the only thing that you're known for.
yeah,
Cool.
exactly. And Chris Sabat, who does the voice of Vegito, is like, yeah, it's terrible having fans
Oh,
who are
supporting of your
supporting our work.
Clap
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, exactly. So good on Chris Sabat. But yeah,
Like-
Sean Shamil is just a freaking nutbag.
He's a nutcase.
He's
He fucking
he's
will
a
go
diva
off.
for being like a voice actor.
He
like,
will
dude,
go off on Twitter.
you are not even the
lose
best
his
voice
shit.
of Goku.
Dude, I know.
There's a reason why you're a voice actor, not a
Yeah.
regular actor.
That he has gone
His
off
face is that reason.
on people on Twitter. Like, there was like I'm pretty sure he's bipolar. Like, I'm about 99% sure. Because he will, on one hand, say, oh, man, I'm so grateful for this. And I'm literally 5 minutes later, like, fuck everybody. Like, you're all assholes. Like, I'm not even joking. I think one of the tweets he made was in regards to the Vic Mananya thing, which was like, if you don't know the person personally, then your opinion doesn't matter. You're all a bunch of assholes or some
Yeah,
nonsense like
it's like-
that. And it was like,
that seems
Jesus.
normal.
It's like,
man,
oh
like,
yeah,
what the
far be
fuck?
it for us to like want like actual evidence before
Wait,
we
I'm
like
gonna find that.
Hold on.
burn
Wait.
a guy at the
Wait,
stake.
what's
Wait.
he saying that about
You mean-
Vic or about the people
You mean
that were
because we
accusing
don't
him?
know them
He's saying
personally?
that
who are
about the people
supporting
who
of
are
Vic.
supporting Vic.
Let me get this straight. Because we don't know the person personally, our opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So does that mean that in the next presidential election of the United States of America, 99.999 repeating percent of the population doesn't matter because they don't know any of the candidates personally?
Also, what about the people that got kicked out of those conventions? Did he know them personally?
I mean, all it is just like when you like take over a voice acting job for someone else, and like the
here's that
first thing
tweet.
you do is like, oh, I don't want the other voice actor to be there. I don't want anyone to ask me questions like about anyone else doing the voice of Goku because I'm the voice of Goku now. Like,
He said,
dude, you're a bitch.
I do love everyone.
Dobby and Gollum, stop freaking out.
Sean Schimmel said, I do love everyone's Dragon Ball Z enthusiasm, but the constant questions about release dates that I have no answer for drive me insane. And then Chris Sabat said, gosh, I feel so sorry for you, Sean. Must be torture to have so many people dying to know when they can hear your work. And he said, it is when you've been asked by 80% of the people in line at every con and thousands of Twitter followers. Fuck you. Hashtag fuck you.
That's a good way to talk to your coworker.
To the
like,
guy
that's your
who
coworker.
you see like every day.
Yeah. Like if there's two
Holy
people
shit.
in the show who are going to see each other probably the most,
I mean,
it's probably
God, man.
maybe.
So do they
she was joking?
pull into the parking lot and they're walking through security?
Chris
I guess
Sabat
It's
would
like
do that.
it's like,
So
hey
crazy.
Sean, hey Chris, hey fuck you too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in there, man.
Man, he's crazy.
That's super
we
awkward
have,
on Monday. To like,
TDK Abomination. So so we don't have the license to call you out, but you have the artistic license to randomly make Rose's voice British. Sean Schimmel. Not even the same thing. I'm the actor who plays Goku. My
I am
artistic
an
choices.
actor.
Yeah, my
All
artistic
right.
choices are made by me and my directors alone. You're the actor who plays Goku, yes, but actors follow a script written by the writer. The writer, Kira Toriyama, Toyotaro, and Toei, don't have British Goku in the script. Obviously, you love the Japanese version the best. That's great. How about you go watch that and leave me alone?
Cool.
Sean,
we
cool.
will.
I guess we
Fuck,
will.
man.
I'd rather have that like
God.
60-year-old lady now
Get
than
my
hear
money
your
than
fucking voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
people watch the dubs because it's easier.
He's
But
fucking crazy.
He's a-
Like he will straight out like just. It's like, dude, why are you being such a dick? Like, why are you being such a dick?
Better test this
Like,
gun
if I
out on
said,
my
wait,
face.
Wait,
Sean.
no, guys, I got it. I got it. You, like 2-3 episodes ago, were explaining to us the new season of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And how much it sucks because Goku's character has been
He's
just
an idiot.
isn't.
God.
He's a method actor. Yeah, he's a voice actor, but he's a method actor. He's really getting into the role of the dumbass Goku.
It's just crazy, man. Like
going deep.
So with all this,
I thought
you know,
that'd get him a little more, but
with,
apparently
with
not.
all this stuff that's been happening, you know, it's Sean Schimmel is out of his mind. Chris Sabat is backing Monica Rial as well, you know, and it's literally just because of they're friends with her. You know, they're more friends with her than anything. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, I've known her for this long. I believe her. Okay, that's fine. Like, honestly, if something like this were to happen to one of you guys, I'd probably take your side.
At least at
Just
first,
because
until
I know
knew
you
the
and I've known you for
facts.
so long, I would ask you
But
about
he's
it.
also known Vic forever.
Yeah.
Like-
I would ask you, you know, hey, is this thing, what's going on? You told me. Okay, fine, great. Let's move on with
And
it.
if you were wrong, then
I'm a little different. Maybe I would ask both sides to try to figure it out, but I wouldn't want to play like, you know, the middleman in that situation. But I
because
can't fault them for
it. Was so
but
it was
I'm
so
not an
instant
asshole.
that like everyone burned that bridge and turned on.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, everyone's known about it for years. It's like, okay, well then Meryl Streep, why the fuck didn't you say anything
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah.
That's why no one believes you.
Yeah.
Is because you're all fucking dogpiling.
Yeah.
No one believes you when you're like, oh, I've known about this for 15 years. It's like, well, then you're an asshole.
For not ever saying anything.
If this is true, then you're an asshole.
Yeah. Monica Rial said the whole thing about like how Vic would do all of these things in front of coworkers, and it's been happening for years, and I had to play along like I enjoyed it. Okay, I'm sorry. If we're hanging out and there's like a girl, it's Joey, and let's say fucking Billy or whatever grabs her by the hair, pulls her back, and fucking like pulls her hair back, and you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, it's just something that he does
also,
all the time.
why wouldn't you fight
I'd be like,
back?
what
Yeah.
the
If
fuck are
somebody
you
did that
doing?
to me, I'm stepping on their fucking foot and
Yeah.
punching them in the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't.
She's like, it happened to me for years, and I just went along with it. Okay, fuck you.
So you're a weak bitch.
So you're,
Or
first
she's
off,
a
you're
liar.
lying,
Yeah.
and second off, every one of your coworkers is a fucking idiot for not ever stepping up and being like, dude, you need to stop that shit. What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
A normal person would be like, what are you doing?
Also, her husband is an executive at Funimation.
Oh, that
Yeah.
pisses me off. Yeah.
It's not like she didn't have an avenue to go to. Like, there was never like, where's the HR records going back for years about this? There aren't any.
Oh wait,
That's why the first investigation in December was inconclusive because they didn't have any evidence.
Yeah.
I have an interesting question. Let's say, for instance, that you, Stuart, are an executive at a company and that your wife works there as a employee And she comes to you one night because you guys were, you got home and you're all just kind of relaxing. And she mentions, oh yeah, one of my coworkers, just threw me up against the wall and sexually assaulted me. Is what it is.
Yeah, you're gonna take that line now.
I mean, are you gonna go? Are you gonna go? Huh? Sounds like you had a pretty bad day. Or are you gonna be like, wow, I'm gonna call legal and we're gonna get this guy
figured out? Yeah.
beat up.
Yeah, it's just
You would.
baffling to
Or
me
why-
that these people, their story is like, oh, it's been happening for years and we're only gonna talk about it now. It's like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, here's the other thing. If it had been happening for years, and for all that X amount of time that it was happening, she stated that she didn't like it. Why would she not then tell Vic, "Can you not do that anymore? I don't like it."
Yeah.
I'm sure Vic would have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad."
I
I'm sure he would.
Okay,
or-
well,
I
let's-
don't know.
I don't know.
But the fact
why,
that you
why
never
would you
did
even?
that-
Why you never did that? So
Let's-
how are we supposed to just be like, "Oh,
let's
okay,
play.
she never liked
let's
it."
play devil's advocate here, and let's say she did say that, and let's say Vic was like, "Hey, fuck you, we're gonna do it anyway."
Then that's on Vic.
But no, at that point,
Then you go to
after how
HR.
many years?
Yeah, you go to
You
HR,
don't just-
you go to your
there's-
like executives, you go to
there
your
is
director.
nobody-
there's so many different
There is
avenues you can take.
nobody I know who would just take that for 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a submissive person, you take it for a while, but eventually you reach a breaking point and you go, nope, we're going to HR. I'm
like,
tired of you.
She said it happened every time they saw each other too. So after a while, I'd be like, dude.
We worked for
Knock
years
it off.
in like Fortune 50 corporate America. Like we know how much paperwork there is for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every conversation is recorded and dated and timestamped and everything. The fact that there's zero paperwork about anything happening.
Hey, here's a fun one. You want to write someone up because they're in trouble? You're bringing another person in the office
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
You are not in there alone.
Standard procedure.
Ever.
It's just, it's baffling.
It's amazing to
Also,
me.
it's stupid how people can lie, like even in like regular companies, like people lie
because
and other people get
started off
fucked
the,
because of
the
it.
story started off like, oh, Vic is kind of creepy to people. And I was like, okay, well, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that's an opinion.
But then that didn't get enough traction.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't get nearly enough traction because people were like, well, I've met him and he seemed cool. And that was kind of the general like, well, I don't know.
Consensus?
Like
Yeah.
the general consensus was like, meh.
You seem
I
fine.
guess. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Most people were like, well, I met him. He seemed cool.
Maybe he's a little overly friendly.
Maybe he's
because
overly
of, like,
friendly. And that was the
background.
general like thing. It was like,
Yeah.
meh.
Well, okay.
And then they had to, so because they didn't get the response they wanted, the flash in the pan, they had to expand on that story. Well, actually, he's assaulted people. And people were like, oh my God, is that true? Now they're getting the recognition and like the coverage that they wanted.
Hey, guys! I thought we weren't supposed to use rape as a
As a plot point?
As a
plot point.
You're right. It's just it's just a crazy
it worked for Shield
situation
Hero and Goblin
because
Slayer.
now what's happened too. Here's the other thing that's happened is Monica Rial has kind of taken a step back and been like I didn't mean.
Oh, no shit.
She kind of took a step back.
She's doing the Jesse Smollett,
Exactly.
which is now a verb.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone's kind of doing this whole thing. And a lot of the people that were supporters of the Kick Vic thing are now going, okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. There's a lot. Actually, I bet you.
He burned my house down and ate my dog.
He
Like,
turned me into a newt.
He turned you into a newt.
Oh, here we go.
Better.
If you just search Vic Manania on Twitter, the first tweet that comes up from Terror from the Deep on Twitter, I'm done with this whole Vic Manania bullshit. I'm done supporting Kick Vic. Looking back, I think this whole thing was handled unprofessionally.
No shit.
Wildly unprofessionally.
You don't say.
Because if I work for like any sort of entertainment business and I have a problem with a coworker, whether it be like of a sexual nature or harassment nature or whatever, the first thing I'm going to do is not go to Twitter or to a media outlet to tell everyone about it. Like that's just not smart. You're going to go and try and handle the problem internally. If that was like any normal or like sane person, if the problem was being handled internally, then where's the documentation?
Your problem is that these people aren't smart.
No, they're not. They're incredibly foolish.
They're selfish and they want to try to get.
They wanted more
fame
spotlight.
Because,
They wanted more media spotlight because that's what it seems to me. Like
And
this
instead,
seems.
they're just like firing like
It's
the
just
last
like
arrow into their career.
It's just like the photographer who wrote that like long article about Aziz Ansari, and like you read it and it's like so long, And you get to the end, you're like, wait,
What was that about?
At what point did he like assault you though? Because that's what the title and the intro kind of like lead you to believe, is that he assaulted her.
Yeah.
But nowhere in that article did he actually assault her.
No.
They just had a bad date and she felt regret for having sex with him.
Yeah.
Consensual sex.
Yep.
I feel icky.
Yeah. Then don't bone him.
So
Like,
Don't be a slut.
basically, yeah.
Monica Rial, by the way, she came out with a statement recently.
Was this also on Twitter?
Yes.
believe it then.
It was like a thing. So I'll read it really quick.
I just love when people
here's
go
what
Twitter.
here's what I love, is I'll read this really quick. I'll brush through it really quick
All right,
about
then we
her
gotta move
thing,
on.
and then we'll move on. Because this is at the point where we're at now, which is where a lot of people are kind of going, "Oops, I didn't think this through."
Yeah, if the
So-
Facebook groups being exposed where they like actually planned out on how to ruin his life didn't convince you.
Yeah. So for Monica Rial on
I
Twitter,
wasn't. I got to hear this.
first, please know that I've tried to address his behavior with him. I'm the kind of friend that will tell you when you have food in your teeth, and I was tired of people talking
now
about him
they're
behind
friends
his
again.
back. How would he have changed if he didn't know his behavior was wrong? Each time he would apologize and then back at it within a few weeks. The studio slowly began to stop working with him, not just because of sexual harassment, but because he was difficult to work with. Even though he had a huge fan following, directors began to look elsewhere. Whenever he saw me, he would take a fistful of my hair, pull my head back, and either whisper so closely into my ear that his lips were touching or kissing my cheek or neck. This was usually done in front of fans and colleagues, so I had to be very careful about how I reacted. I didn't even realize how inappropriate it was because he did it to so many people. I've witnessed it happen just as others have witnessed it happen to me, colleagues and fans. So that's what I was talking about like how did nobody
How do you
think
not think that that's
was not
inappropriate?
Like, how did not a single person go, oh, there's Vic being Vic?
I have a question.
How? Fucking how?
Like,
how?
everyone has a cell
It's
phone,
amazing to me.
That's my thing. I haven't seen one video. She says it
Where's
happened
the
all
proof?
the time.
I've never
front of
seen
fans.
one
It
video.
didn't
Never seen
happen.
one video.
There's not
of
even
it.
like not even a picture, not even a snapshot.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah.
Pics or it didn't happen.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Blizzard taught us. Everyone has a phone.
There's more.
have
There's more
phones?
video evidence of Bigfoot than what she's
Yeah.
saying.
Continuing.
And clearer.
In the mid-2000s, we were at a convention together, and he grabbed me and kissed me in his hotel room. You may wonder why I didn't yell or scream or push him away. Yeah, why didn't you?
you wanted it.
I was scared. Why? Because I was raped as a teenager, and I learned that sometimes fighting back makes it worse. Why did I go to his room? Because he asked me to watch a video, and I trusted him because he was my friend. Not only that,
Those two things don't jive to me.
yeah, yeah.
Like if you're saying he's touching you inappropriately and
In
has been for
public.
years in public,
And
then
you
you're
were
like,
raped as a
"Well,
teenager."
I'll go to his hotel room.
What's gonna happen
Like,
in
come on,
here?
man.
This-
Like,
this
at
is-
some point, at some point, you just
You're asking
come
for
on.
it. I'll say it. You're asking for
This
it.
is a thing that has
Done.
happened to you in the past. He has done this thing consistently. Therefore, in my mind, you don't trust him.
don't be
Yeah.
in that. Yeah,
you
I
don't trust him.
You can't say I didn't trust him because he's always doing this, but I trusted him enough to go to his hotel room. Like
She's a work
what?
dum dum.
Yeah, what do you...
She's
You're a work
a work
dum-dum.
dum-dum.
Continuing.
That's not working safely at all.
Not only that... God, I love John Tron, dude. Not only that, but he was
It's a
dating my
violation of
friend.
human decency.
He was dating my friend Michelle at the time, and I
There
had
we
been
go. That's what I was
flirting
looking for.
with my soon-to-be boyfriend at the convention all weekend. After that experience, I distanced myself from him, and unfortunately, Michelle as well, which was the girl he was dating at the time. I felt incredibly guilty, even though I hadn't done anything wrong. I went to therapy and worked on forgiveness. I chose to forgive him for what he had done. Maybe it was just me. Maybe it was a one-time thing that never to be repeated again. You can imagine my devastation when I learned I wasn't the only one. That it was happening to colleagues and worse yet, convention attendees. All the pictures and messages that are being passed around were taken at the press events and premiere for the Broly movie in mid-December. About 2 weeks after that, 3 of my close friends came forward, and when these friends shared their stories with me, I was heartbroken. How could this happen to 3 of my close friends without me ever knowing?
By one of my other close friends.
As
Who
an
I trusted.
investigator, solely because I corroborated with the other's testimony, I didn't start this. I have nothing to gain from it. I didn't steal anyone's roles or titles. The stuff you're hearing on YouTube is all lies attempting to create drama and get subs views. I'm perfectly content being just a voice actor.
Except you're not.
Except you're not.
Except That's not what you
Yeah.
said.
The investigations were incredibly thorough. Were they though?
Were they though?
Were they though?
Were they though?
Each
They're the
person
proof
was
act.
interviewed, the evidence weighed, what evidence, and decisions made. What fucking evidence? What evidence? Because if there's so many people that are saying that this happened, where is the fucking evidence?
Yeah, because the
You want to
investigation
go
I have-
was done
online.
in December.
You want to go online and
Nothing.
scream that all this shit happened, and you want to make that public, but you don't want to make the fucking evidence public.
I have a fun one.
Do you listen to yourself when you fucking talk?
There's
I have a fun one for you.
Sure.
Doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I understand this is going to be smaller scale than the example I'm going to offer forth. Obviously, vastly smaller scale, but I'm not privy to their paperwork, such as it is. So I don't know when this investigation was initially launched.
It said
but-
mid-December.
The first one was in December.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say
And
December.
that was inconclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 months. 3 months of investigation, we'll call
We'll
it.
say 3 months.
Okay, let's just say 3 months. It took them 2 years to get Nixon for Watergate when they literally walked into the room and saw him doing it.
Shit, I'm still waiting for fucking Russian collusion evidence.
There's
So-
more proof of aliens.
There's a lot of convictions, none of it doing with Russia.
So my concern here is, even after 3 months, you've just we got it.
Got him.
I mean,
but you didn't.
Well,
I
here's the
mean-
thing, though. This will.
Clinton one went on for 2 years.
yeah, I don't.
If-
you might need to do a little
And
bit
that
more.
involved
more research than that.
actual investigators.
Yeah.
It took it was like 2.5 years
Dude,
for Clinton.
It was forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's.
on.
What I will say about that specifically
Come
about the
on.
evidence thing is that will come out in court when
do
it
it.
not if it happens, when it happens, because it's happening now. Vic's already got his legal team and everything ready to rock and roll, so it's coming. So
Well, he's about 10,000 short.
yeah, well,
I don't think
Give
he
it a
needs.
day.
I think it's
I'm
just
kidding. I'm kidding.
these companies aren't obligated to share any information with you. Many of the women who have come forward have chosen to remain anonymous, especially after seeing the way that I've been attacked. Please respect their
lies.
privacy. Okay, fine. But an even greater majority of women have come out and said all of this stuff happened to them. So
You're right. You're absolutely right. But if this goes to trial, which it looks like it will, Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
actually, yes, all of it
All
is.
of it will
all
come
of it
out.
is
Look
available
it.
to us. Sorry, buddy.
she says, I apologize for lashing out and threatening fans. I don't want to have to take people to court or send law enforcement after them. when I was
please
doing
take
what
me to court.
I know.
I
right?
would love
To take
for
all of
you to
your
take
money.
one fucking fan to court.
That'd be so
Because
Do it.
she finally talked to a lawyer and they're like, yeah, you got to stop saying that.
funny. Yeah.
You have
Shut
got
your
nothing.
you
mouth.
have no legal recourse.
Yeah.
You got to stop telling people you're going to forward their tweets to the Homeland Security. That's just not true, Monica. What are you doing, Monica?
They're just
Come
like,
on, man.
shut your mouth.
Just stop.
shut
Just stop.
So she said,
I don't want to. I want you to. We all want you to.
Do it.
Please.
she says, there is a watch list and I have the names and numbers of multiple harassers, but I'm willing to forgive you if you stop the madness now. You don't.
Oh, what? Okay.
But,
First of all, that's a threat of doxing.
Exactly.
Like that's
Yeah.
a threat more than anything I've seen you respond to.
Wait. I've finally decided after 15 years that I'm going to speak out against Vic for his harassment because I can't stand harassment anymore. But if you stop and you be nice and you repent,
You'll
then
get ice
I
cream.
won't go
It's like-
ahead and
it's like
I won't come after you.
It's like the. It's like the.
Because you said you're
CNN
sorry.
Remember
Just make sure you
the,
say you're sorry.
The CNN, they threatened to dox that guy who made the Trump gif.
Yeah.
Where he's like beaten up, like it was when he was on the WWE.
Yeah.
and it's like him beaten up. They threatened to dox the kid,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, but he seems remorseful, so we're not going to release, but we retain the right to do so." It's like, what? Who the fuck made you thought police?
Also, you're threatening a child.
Yeah.
That's a thing that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of this here. How would you respond if your life was being threatened? If the life of your loved ones, friends, or friends' children were being
I
threatened?
didn't.
I would
see
go
it.
to authorities like
I'd go to-
HR.
Like, yeah.
I'd go to the cops.
If your addresses and phone numbers
Police.
are
I
being
would
passed
go to
around like
people who
candy, so
have
people
authority.
could call, drop you by antagonizing you, if the local authorities made sure to drive past your house daily just to make sure you're okay. If you were forced to be on the phone with various law enforcement lawyers every single day, if people were trying to get you fired just because you came forward with the truth. If you were doxxed because people think it's fun to attack those who are hurting.
Was she doxxed? I missed that.
I have so many things to say about
You
this.
mean like
I'm
that
just
kid
gonna
who
move
was threatened to be
past
doxxed just
I-
because he was...
Whatever you
Missed that
guys
way.
are thinking in regards to all that stuff, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
All right, we got to move on from this.
So, anyways, in closing, what she said, she says she's always stood up for the community. I have loved the anime fandom from the moment I went to my first convention. To be threatened like this by the community hurts my heart. I relentlessly stood up for the Dragon Ball fandom.
And
I only
Hawaiian.
have to community. I only to have that community come back and attack me mercilessly. Yeah, because it's fucking ridiculous.
Who does she voice again?
Also,
Bulma?
Oh, I knew I hated
People-
that bitch.
people-
Always hated that bitch. Always hated Bulma.
people questioning you is not an attack.
Yeah.
It's people
My
wanting
feelings on the internet.
because the initial questions were like, "Oh my god, what about blah 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 blah?" And she's like, "Oh, how dare you even ask?" It's like, "Whoa, that you seem pretty defensive there, Bulma."
Yeah.
Why
You know
getting-
what,
why
really?
getting- people want to know the true story. Like we want more details.
She's
You
like,
know
you don't
what's
need more.
funny?
You just need to know what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You know what's funny?
You can't say something so outrageous as like I was assaulted, and then when someone's like, "Well, I have some follow-up questions because I want to know if this is true," be like, "I don't. Why are you attacking me?
saw a fucking werewolf in the woods.
I'm not gonna lie.
I saw it.
I'm
No
not gonna
more
lie.
questions." Like,
This might just be my personal opinion, but honestly, I legit, and this is gonna sound probably pretty mean, and I'm a little sorry, but like I legit
sorry.
actually believe that Bulma's character was made better when Vegeta hooked up with her because I like
The way-
Vegeta.
The way you just did that too, you know Tom Segura, the comedian?
Yeah.
He has that bit about the fire department that's like, that building burned down. What was it? It's complicated fire shit, man. You wouldn't understand. It's like that. What was it? It was a match. How did you know? It's complicated fireman shit, man. You wouldn't understand. Which one was it? That one. How do you know? It's complicated fireman. It's like that kind of, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You
So
can't-
anyways,
He can't stand being asked the same question 3 times.
yeah. So in closing, she said, I'm tired of fighting, tired of threats. From here on, I will only be posting positivity, words are hard, and threats on retaliation will be met with an immediate block. I'm not wasting any more time on this matter. It's over. This has been incredibly difficult
No, it's not.
for everyone involved. Please be kind to one another.
We go into court.
Except
it ain't
for
over.
it is
Beginning.
far from over.
Far from over.
It is about to go to the place that you were threatening to take people
To Pound Town?
to Pound Town.
Did you know?
Legal
Did you know
downtown.
that this place will take time in their investigations
Yeah.
and make sure they get the truth,
The sad
not
thing-
3 months of you're out.
We are going to move away from this, but the last thing that I'll say about this is the sad thing about this is that even after all of this is going on, because the whole purpose of Vic going to court with this is so that he can save his job, I don't think that he'll get it back.
no.
Oh no!
And the people who
I
destroyed
don't-
his
I don't
career that
think
way
so.
will still be
My
able to
my
just
hopes
carry
is
on.
that
That's
this
the
will
sad,
happen.
the most sad thing.
Funimation is kind of on its down. Funimation and Crunchyroll are going down.
Yeah,
I say we just jump on the bandwagon of Kurokawa.
I'm down.
No more dubs. No, more dubs.
No, Kurokawa
I
is
like
the
that
one
stuff.
who does Overlord.
I like them
and,
too.
Yeah.
Let's just
Everybody likes dubs because they're easier. But if they're gonna be dicks, like I have no problem
Hey,
reading.
if I wanted to read
subtitles.
subs, just read fucking manga. Sorry.
Yeah.
all right, here we go. We're moving on
Anyway,
now.
hey, leave your comments down below about what you think about the Vic thing. Let's continue this conversation. It's awesome.
All right, we're moving on to
Moving
the
on.
next,
Holy
next
shit.
topic. All right, so
Let's talk about fun.
let's talk about a dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Okay. So recently, there was the League of Legends Continental
Oh, yep,
League.
dumpster fire. You got it.
Dumpster fire.
Yep, that was dead on.
Would they go 1 in 100?
There was an all-female Russian league team. They were called Vevictus. They lost in the LCL 52-2.
Because they rushed B.
The joke still works.
It's still funny. Management describes the team's formation as an experiment, and experiment is in quotes, to see how they will fare in the league. However, from early indications, it seems to be nothing more than a publicity stunt that could dent the players' confidence, argues Esports News UK editor Dom Sacco.
It's unfortunate.
That's a great name. Reporting
Like-
live, Dom Sacco.
So for those of you guys that don't know anything about League, I didn't because I try and avoid things that are shit. So I actually had to do research on like how the rankings work.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna explain it in depth. Basically, the all-female team were at a ranking of
They're like gold.
like they were diamond. They were minor league.
Okay.
But all the other players in the LCL were Grandmaster or Challenger, like the top.
Diamond Masters Crystal Guardian.
Diamondmaster Crystal Guardian Masters
So
of the
basically,
Universe.
they're like, hey, let's take a bunch of like, to put it in another sports analogy, like let's take a bunch of single A baseball players, which is the lowest level of minor league, and like let's just let them play
The Mariners.
the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Just let them. They're good. Just let them play Dodgers. Just let them play the Dodgers.
Guys,
it's fine.
Guys, let's let the last.
Let's make
But
that-
in the World
in
Series,
the World Series.
like,
It'll be cute. It's okay.
not an exhibition game in the World Series.
Guys, let's let the Arkansas
That'd be
Travelers play against the New York Yankees.
Yeah, let's have the San Bernardino Stampede. Just play the Astros. Just let them play the Astros in the World Series. It's fine.
Yeah. No big
So they
deal.
got crushed.
They got destroyed.
They got beaten.
They're faster than
They
Ichiro.
got beaten bad.
They got destroyed.
How bad was it?
52-2.
That was
But
the record.
That's pretty bad.
So that was interesting. It's like, it's kind of funny.
I'm awful at Apex, but I think I have a better KDA there.
But what happened after? Because this was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago.
So what happened afterwards? And you might not know this. You probably
I
definitely.
might. I think I know.
know.
I think I
I'm
probably.
offended.
So Riot Games has given an official warning to the team that they played against.
I did not know about this.
I thought
What?
So during the match, the team they were playing against, Rox, they banned all the support.
Yeah, they did.
They banned all the support players that Vivictus usually chooses because
Right.
the like joke in LoL is that girls are only good at playing support.
That's a
So-
joke, yeah.
Rox, the opposing team, banned all the support characters so Vivictus couldn't choose any of
Couldn't
them.
choose any. Yeah.
So
Well, they
So-
choose.
so-
they banned 5 because you could ban.
so
up to 5.
Rox played smart, knew the team they were going up against, and banned the people that they knew the people
But
were
it's
good
not
at.
fair.
That's exactly.
They did
That's
basic
But
strategy.
it's not fair.
But
They
not
did
fair.
strategy. So in
Which
response,
wait,
use
hold
the
on.
strat.
Doesn't Vivictus get to do the same?
Same thing.
yes, they did.
Oh, okay, cool.
So in
But that
response,
doesn't matter.
So this is fair then.
in
not
response,
fair.
Riot Games recently released an official warning regarding Rox's behavior during the match. In a game against Vivictus, Team Rox banned 5 support champions during the pick ban process. Although it is not technically against the rules, both Riot Games and the broader League of Legends community took this as a sign of disrespect towards the Vivictus esports
Shut
team.
the fuck up. What?
Riot Games further elaborated that this will be their last warning on behavior that may be related to gender discrimination or
What?
any other kind of discrimination.
That's
This-
not even gender
quote,
discrimination.
Here's a quote. Warnings were issued to the Rox and Vega Squadron organizations, which means that their punishment will be more severe if there are repeated infractions.
Oh my
We preventatively warn other organizations that any discriminative behavior is unacceptable and will be penalized by the administration. Guys, they're girls. You got to be nice to them.
It's not fair. They're
That's
little
what that
delicate
statement-
fingers
that
can't
is
hit
the
buttons
most-
correctly.
I have so many fucking things to say.
If you want to
Their
know,
boobs got in the way.
If you want to
I'm
know
so angry
what
right now.
real sexism looks like, there it is. The sexism of low expectations.
Yeah.
Because you think that women can't win without
Their characters.
their characters,
Without their
you've
champs.
now changed the rules for everyone else.
No,
that's the most
fucking
sexist
asinine.
thing.
As a person who has competed in professional fucking video games, that is bullshit. That is utter bullshit. There's no rules that states that you have to, like in League of Legends, there's no fucking rule that says you have to ban a role, a character from each role in the game. So a top, mid, support, ADC, etc., etc. That's fucking bullshit. The whole point of the fucking banning and drafting phase is because that's a whole nother part of the game. If you don't do the drafting phase properly, then you can lose the game.
Guys,
They also
If their support characters are strong, you ban the fucking supports they play.
Guys.
That's
Maybe they should
strategy.
just
Guys.
stick to something like baking competition.
guys, guys, can I take it a step further?
Sure.
So this is a news article from
That pisses me off.
like 10 hours
Fuck
ago.
Riot.
Ooh, breaking.
From what?
This is like from 10 hours ago, roughly. Riot Games hires CDO, Chief Diversity Officer, in wake of sexism scandal.
No.
Angela Roseborough is taking on a big task as the Chief Diversity Officer at Riot Games. She joins Riot from Dropbox and comes in the aftermath of a scandal that revealed a
why did
sexist
Dropbox
culture at the League of Legends game publisher
dropped it?
and esports
Is this
company.
a real article? Or is this an Onion
a
article?
real article.
What is it from? Cite your sources.
From VB. I don't know that. Scroll down so I can see what
What's
it is.
the URL, jackass?
Oh my gosh, no, it's
It's
real.
just on Google.
Dude, it's on PC Gamer and The Verge.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit.
I'm on VB. I forget what that is. But anyway,
VentureBeat.
that's
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
VentureBeat.
VentureBeat.
No fucking way.
Yeah, Chief
Riot Games hires a
Diversity
Chief
Officer.
Diversity Officer address
what?
like toxic workplace culture.
Ooh.
No fucking
Riot
way.
Games was hit with the allegations as Kotaku published an investigative story with testimony from current and former Riot employees who said the sexism was ingrained among the executives. In the aftermath, Riot admitted that it made mistakes, made some changes on its staffing, and was also hit with a gender discrimination lawsuit.
So is that person just gonna walk around the office and like randomly point at people and be like, "You're fired"?
She will oversee all activity relating to diversity and inclusion, D&I.
What does that mean?
And will lead the creation of new programs to foster a more inclusive culture at Riot.
What does
she
that
will also
mean?
lead the recruiting team in driving inclusivity in Riot's hiring and talent sourcing processes.
Oh my god,
Isn't
it's
that
just,
illegal?
It's just a bunch of fucking words.
Isn't that illegal?
Like,
Can't you
mashed
not,
together in order to sound like you're fucking woke? But it doesn't mean anything.
That's
how
a
can you
fake position.
How can you?
That's
How's
a
she gonna
fake
have
position.
time for that
Someone
when she
made
needs to
that
be in the
shit
kitchen?
up. That's a made up position.
How can you fucking
Chief Diversity Officer.
What are
Someone
you
made
gonna
that
do?
up.
There's too many white people. Gotta fire some.
Oh, geez.
What the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means.
She will also lead the recruiting team in driving inclusivity in
Cool.
Riot's hiring processes.
we
Isn't
got too
that
many
illegal?
We got too many Asians. Better.
That's literally
she's gonna-
illegal.
she's
You
gonna pull-
cannot discriminate on
No, she's-
hiring
she's
processes
doing-
by
She's doing
race.
exactly what Harvard and Princeton did. They're like, we got too many Asians. Better not accept any more.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But that's illegal.
It's illegal. That's
The
the whole.
fucking-
That's
the
why you
fucking-
have a fucking HR department.
The fucking
it's
BBC. Remember the BBC put out that job position and basically said like, oh, we're only looking to hire colored people.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like no whites need
Yeah.
apply. Whites need not
See,
apply.
that's when black.
the article says that it this hire comes half a year after they publicly responded to the Kotaku report. Wow, words with a blog post titled "Our First Steps Forward." In it, company leadership acknowledged the allegation of sexism and dysfunctional workplace practices and behaviors. What is wrong with me tonight? I can't talk. Apologize and pledged and thoroughly reinvent its culture and institute new policies and tools to combat abuse. We're sorry. It's a quote. We're sorry that Riot hasn't always been or wasn't the place we promised you. And then that's when it happens, when all that shit that was going on at the same time,
Guys.
like there was a lot of like
Yeah,
misconduct happening in the company.
I get
this
that.
is what it's from, but this is
Guys,
a made up position.
Guys.
Someone made this shit
Guys.
up.
I feel like you need a better HR department.
guys,
Yeah.
Like, because if you have people just being like,
Twitter's not a fucking HR department.
Dudes.
dudes,
God.
you want somebody with
That's what you
experience,
need
right?
to.
So if
the
you
right
have a
people.
position, you want to fill it with someone who can do the job right?
Sure.
Okay, so allow me to read the last paragraph of this article. Roseborough has more than 20 years of experience. And you might ask yourself, in diversity? Well, how is this possible? Including leadership roles in consulting and finance, and was most recently the global head of diversity, equity, and inclusion at Dropbox. At Dropbox, she led the company's development and implementation of initiatives and actions for driving inclusion as a key component of Dropbox's goal of being an employer of choice for all talent.
For fucking Dropbox.
She has 20 years of inclusivity experience with Dropbox. I don't remember Dropbox 20 years ago. Was it? It might be. I don't know.
Dropbox has
Maybe.
been around
I don't
for
even
20
know. I don't know. Let me
years.
look when Dropbox.
Has Dropbox been around for 20 years?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Have they been around since 1999?
I don't think so.
I don't think they're.
Was the internet around then?
Were they
Yeah, the
mentioned?
internet was around, but it was fucking dial-up. What could you save?
true.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna save.
Were they
the cloud
mentioned?
wasn't
in,
a thing back then, was it?
No.
were they mentioned in
No.
Prince's song?
They're like, oh, I'm gonna save this fucking text document.
Initial release June 2007.
On my floppy.
So she hasn't been 20 years at Dropbox.
11 years ago is when its initial release.
No,
of
she has
Dropbox
20 years
was.
of experience. It's just the inclusivity part is at Dropbox.
What's the
that
other
wasn't a
10
thing
years
20
then?
years
I-
ago.
you
Or 9
mean
years,
the other
sorry.
8.
8? What are you talking about? Didn't
Dropbox
you say?
has been around since
No.
2011.
2007.
Oh, 2007. I'm sorry. I thought
Oh,
you said
okay. So it is
11
Okay,
years
I
ago.
apologize. I apologize.
So 9 years. So
Wow.
where's the other 9 years?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make this.
It's not in the article.
Put the camera to me.
Okay.
Chief diversity
Come-
officer.
If you have a problem in your workplace, go to the proper people. Social media is not the proper place to post that shit. Talk to your HR department. That's what they're fucking there for. Second off, about this esports thing and Riot's choice on this stupid thing, if you want to try to make the game fair, then the only way that you can make the game fair is by patches and balances. If you want to be a professional player in fucking League of Legends or any other game, all you have to do is be good at the fucking game. You should understand that picks and bans are a part of the game. That's like chess. That's the chess portion of the fucking game. And if you don't like the fact that your champions were banned, maybe you should learn to play some other fucking champions instead of going on the fucking, it's not fair. I'm sorry.
Well,
you don't hear any
okay.
of the other pros complaining that their champions got banned.
Hold on.
Why?
To be
Because that's
fair,
part of the fucking game.
back up. Vivictus never made a statement complaining.
No, Riot did.
I know.
That's what I'm
just-
saying. I'm talking to Riot.
I know. It made it seem like you were talking about Vivictus, though.
No, Riot specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Vivictus, we haven't heard anything from them.
I
They
wanna-
haven't-
I wanna-
As far as I know, they haven't complained
Steve,
about
I need a
it.
huge favor from you. At the end of this episode, can you make my title card say Chief Diversity Officer? Can I be the Chief Diversity Officer here?
I think we know that I should have that title.
That's true.
Oh,
I'm
what?
the
Because you're a woman?
Yeah.
And what if I'm transgender?
I don't see no tits. Everybody knows you gotta have boobs.
That's actually true. I can't name a chief diversity officer that wasn't a woman. Because remember,
So they're A-cups.
the one for Apple was a woman. Remember the chief diversity officer for Apple? She was a black woman who said that.
Ooh, 2 boxes.
Well, hold on. Then she got fired because she got fired.
Ooh, 2 boxes.
She got fired because she said you can find diversity even in a room full of just white guys because they have a diverse life experience.
Oh, she's smart.
I mean,
Immediately fired. The next fucking day,
I feel
fired.
bad for
Do you remember
her.
this?
I'm sorry
I do.
for my joke. I'm sorry for that one.
I feel bad because she got immediately fired for that.
for that?
For that statement. She was fired the
Because
very
she
next
stood
day.
up for white
I mean,
men.
I could understand if they got her on some
It
fake
wasn't
charges,
even
but
standing
like
up
for
white
that
men.
statement,
it was just acknowledging that, like, hey, guess what? Just because
person A and person B are from different walks of life, therefore diversity.
there's like
Ta-da!
a guy, a white guy born in Beverly Hills is going to have a much different life experience than a white guy born in East LA.
This is like a really big deal. Holy cow.
You know what I mean? Like that.
So, like, Donald Trump and Ted Bundy are the same. I mean, they're both white dudes, right?
No, Trump is orange.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. My bad.
Hey.
I mean, I understand that this isn't like a made-up position. It just sounds like a made-up position. Anytime
Oh, it's a
someone says
made-up
Chief
position.
diversity officer.
All positions.
Dude.
All positions are made up. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
I guess you're right. It's just like, geez.
So are words. What is life?
It's just baffling.
Really
to
tasty
me.
cereal.
I mean, it just goes to the whole. I feel like this is a game company trying to pander to a group of people that don't play their game.
Yep.
And it's crazy to me because the people who play League of Legends are basically
Human guard.
like chuds. Like the majority of them, like, let's be real. Can we get real for a second?
Yeah.
They're chuds. But, you know,
Well,
fine.
what is a chut, Stuart?
But I'm saying, like, the majority of people that play League of Legends and professionally are dudes.
Yeah.
These dudes probably don't care about any of this. I would say privately, probably all of them. Publicly, maybe like 70%.
I don't know.
I can't imagine how any of this matters to your core audience.
Rox probably cares about it.
They do now. But I'm saying, like, none of this actually matters with the game itself. Like, what is this, like, hiring process? Like, oh, we're gonna try and make sure that we're being more inclusive. Okay, but what does that mean?
It's gonna change the buffs on Sona.
Are you gonna hire
That's how that's gonna
the
work.
best people for the job, or are you gonna hire people because you need to fill a quota?
Yes, and it's going to change the buffs on Sona, and it's going to make Riven a little bit more nerfed.
I don't know what anything you just said means because I don't play that crap. Was it funny?
I don't know why they care about the politics of it when their consumers only care about how is it
Oh
going
no,
to
wait,
affect
it's
what
not
they
going to
play.
affect the actual game at all.
The actual
Sorry, I
product.
forgot.
No, it is going to affect the game because they're not going to hire the best people for the positions anymore. They're going to hire people because they need to fill a quota of like skin color.
It's like what happened
or
to me.
sex.
It's like what happened to me when I initially tried to have my interview with Blizzard. I got beat out
You're too
because they
white.
needed to fill a box.
Yeah.
You're too white.
I don't, and that's not just like something that I like.
pale-skinned
I
bitch.
feel. It's not. It's,
Hey,
well,
you know what?
it's not something that like. Oh, I think that's what happened. It's exactly what happened.
You know what?
I know for a fact it was.
I'm gonna be real for a second here, though. It's probably a good thing you didn't get that gig
yeah, because I wouldn't have a job.
because
right
they'd
now.
let you go
Because you
about a
would've
month
been-
ago.
Dude,
You would've
I
been
feel so
fired.
bad. I have so many friends that work at Blizzard, man, and that shit broke my heart, man.
Poof.
Because
Were
so
they
many
the
people on
dumb
social media,
ones?
Facebook and Twitter, and I got text messages from people saying, if you got connects, can you give them to me? Because I don't know what to do. And I was just like, fuck. Like,
It's
that's
just-
ugh.
EA and Blizzard and now
Fuck,
Riot,
man.
it's like these companies don't understand that you're not playing to your audience.
Nope.
Like I know we were talking about it off camera, and I feel like it kind of relates in a way. I know you've been playing Apex a lot.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
There's no story in Apex.
Good job, EA.
I'm sure it's a great game. I haven't played it. There's no
Respawn
story or campaign mode in Apex.
Nope.
Pick a person, go murder people.
But yeah, basically.
Don't
So
die.
we don't really
Very
need,
straightforward
so we
process.
don't
Don't
really,
die.
So we don't really
die.
when
need
you're at work, don't die.
Don't die.
we don't really need a diverse backstory of the characters you're playing as. Like it really doesn't make a difference.
It really
impacts
doesn't.
the game in no way.
No way it doesn't. Yeah.
But for some reason they decided to like, oh, by the way, these characters are all LGBT.
Yep.
Okay,
Let's
why?
murder those first.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just baffling to me. It's like you're
I'm
you're not
joking,
doing it,
obviously.
but they're not doing it because it matters in the game. There are games out there where characters or an NPC's sexuality matters to the story. This game has no story, so their sexuality means nothing.
Yeah.
Like-
No, you're right.
So you pointing them out is actually kind of bad.
Like
on
I'll,
you.
I'll throw something out there that's also semi-related. In the trailer, and I know we already talked about this, but it's all kind of grouped together. In the trailer for The Last of Us, the second Last of Us 2,
Oh, yeah.
they had Ellie making out with
That
some random chick.
at that party or whatever it was.
I was upset not because like, oh, Ellie's gay. I could care less
I
if Ellie's gay.
care less. Yeah.
Is it a good story? That's what I care about.
Isn't that Ellen Page's character?
It looks like her, but it's not.
Yeah.
No, I thought she voiced her.
No, she voiced another character in a different game.
Okay.
The sad thing is that when that happened too, less people were stoked at the fact that the game was coming out. They're more stoked at the fact that she was gay.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
the
just
crazy thing.
baffling to me. Like I started following Boone Cotter after that because he was like talking about it, and his take was like, it's like he's like the people who are upset that she's gay. Like, what's your problem? It's like
Yeah.
I get that. Like
That I can understand. Like, what are you so mad about?
my issue
But also
was
it doesn't
always
matter.
Doesn't matter.
why does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Does
See,
it matter?
that's-
Is it? Are we gonna learn something in the story where like she has to choose between like
Her being gay makes it so she
Her-
won't become a zombie?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like does it have something to do with the story? Does her
Become a clicker?
sexuality?
Oh God.
Well, and here's the other thing, and I might be remembering this wrong, but I'm pretty sure she was like making out with some chick who had a husband.
Yeah. I believe
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because she asked him like, "Oh, where's your husband?" And it's like, okay, well,
Doesn't matter.
that's like,
Oh, that
well,
sounds
now I
bad.
have a worse opinion of Ellie. Like I thought Ellie was like a good person,
Yes.
and now I don't. So thank you for ruining that.
She's
I
a
guess.
homewrecker.
Like I thought Joel raised her to not like help someone cheat on their significant other.
Yeah. You
Like,
think?
I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I mean, I would imagine Joel as that kind of person, but I also kind of imagine maybe that's not a topic that comes up very often in a zombie apocalypse.
You right.
You're right. You're right.
Huckledree and the zombie apocalypse. Are you wearing horns? Or do you have a giant fungus growing out of your skull? Here's ways to learn. I was just curious. I was like, what does this have to do with the game? Like, show me the game.
Nothing.
Like I get
And that was literally
we're having a cutscene.
that
Like,
kind
cool.
of thing is just
it looks
nothing
great.
but to build hype, and I don't know why it builds hype. I don't get it.
It doesn't speak to your core audience. Like the people who
Yeah,
are
okay.
super hyped about like, oh, Ellie's gay, yeah, aren't
They
gonna
don't
buy
play the game.
Aren't gonna play the game.
Yeah.
They're not gonna play it.
When
They're not
Metal-
gonna buy it.
When Metal Gear Solid was coming out, there's a lot of that stuff in Metal Gear Solid. A lot of like the weird like vamp and stuff.
But
you
it
know?
made sense in the story because
Yeah,
there was a
it made-
story reason for
Yeah,
it.
there was
And
a
that's why-
reason behind it.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's tons of characters who are gay or who are traps if you play a bunch of JRPGs.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in the story because there's a story reason why they're doing that or why they are who they are.
Yeah. There was a reason why, like in Metal Gear Solid, why Vamp was the way he was. Bisexual, right?
Yeah.
He was bisexual. And I remember playing that game and being like, oh, wonder why. Oh, it's kind of weird.
That's weird.
And then
That's queer.
and then
That's queer.
how queer. But then it came up why, and I was like, oh, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. It wasn't just like
That's still weird,
just,
but I get it.
Just because. Like, okay, I would be more pissed off if it was just because.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about the Last of Us thing. I'm like, oh, so it's just cause.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what it
fuck you.
seems
See,
like.
that's-
Because of box.
That's
It's just
why
because,
that's
You
why
know?
I'm not.
So the Apex Legends thing is like, oh, just why? Because
well,
oh yeah, because you needed that to get more people to play your fucking game when already like you had 1 million fucking players in the first week.
and
Jeez.
and I'm sorry if this happens.
it was more than that,
I'm
actually.
sorry if this happens to you. But I'm saying it, so you can ban me. Steve didn't say it. Someone already got banned for it.
For what?
For saying the exact same thing I said.
Oh,
Jeremy
really?
from the Quartering got banned
Oh.
from Apex and Anthem
He did.
for saying that. Like you're pandering.
Did
like
he
it's-
also murder all of the?
He did murder like 12 people in real life, but I don't think those two things are related. Like,
I'm gonna say
just
if
kidding.
you want to
Look at the
say
game.
like if you
Kappa.
if you want to check
Papa.
boxes and you're like, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of characters who have all sorts of different ethnicities and both male, female, all over the place, a big mix. Cool. I'm okay with that. I think that's cool. Do I need to know in a game like Apex whether or not they're gay? No. But I mean, if you're going to make a big old Samoan dude and a black chick and a white dude and this like, you know, robot thing. I mean,
Oh, Pathfinder?
yeah, but I'm saying
Pathfinder's awesome.
that's kind of cool. Like you have this diversity that you don't have to be like, guys, look at me, I'm being diverse. I'm cool
but
with
that
this.
makes sense because it's a visual diversity.
Yes, I'm okay
Because
with that
the
part.
visual
That's the part
aspect is
I'm okay with it
important of the game.
I like that because
The
they don't force
story
that.
diversity matters absolutely not at all. It's
No.
like, oh, do I get the gay power up? It's like, do I get the LGBT bonus? Like, what does that matter?
No.
When you're ziplining, you shit rainbow.
Yeah, like, I don't.
know.
Does my gun like
I don't get.
No, okay,
lecture
okay.
people about
Stuart,
feminism? Like, I
Stuart,
don't know what that means.
Stuart.
Like, what's the point of that?
Stuart, I'll explain it. Every time that you either jump out of the ship or like if you use a balloon to get up really, really high and launch yourself out, you have this jetpack and your team has a color. Your character's gay, you get a rainbow jetpack. And it goes, whoa, as you keep going.
It's the sound from Rocket
With
League.
sparkles.
Yes, exactly like that, with sparkles.
And maybe unicorns and sunshine and
Yeah, it's
Then
just
you die immediately.
and those like 70s disco flowers.
And that's usually what happens. If you took a balloon, people saw you and you die immediately.
God,
you
yeah,
land and you're dead.
Yeah.
it,
That's what I'm saying. So
Or if you get
wouldn't want to
rezzed.
be that.
it's
You're done.
this
That's what-
forced diversity that is killing industries.
It's all jokes, by the way. Please don't fucking take this to heart. If you do, you need to go outside.
Also,
Fucking
not
A.
apologizing
Get off
for
the
any of the
internet.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a joke.
Get
a joke
off
is
the
a joke.
internet and go outside. Fucking A.
Buy a helmet.
Stop being
Good
a
lord.
fucking Stop being a
Take,
fucking snowflake for like 5
Hey,
minutes
hey,
of your life.
respawn. If you're listening, do the rainbow jetpack. I think it'd be really
Fuck,
funny.
I would buy it.
That would be awesome.
If there was
do
I
the
would
rainbow
buy it.
jetpack.
If there was a jetpack
I would buy
that
it.
shot out rainbows that only the LGBT characters could use, then I'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense. I'd be like, oh, well, there's an actual reason. But right now, there's no reason.
Because of cosmetics.
yeah,
I mean,
but I'm saying
It wouldn't
no.
be very smart in the game, though. Wouldn't you immediately die?
Because a bunch of like people who are like anti-LGBT be like, fucking get them. Like,
Get 'em!
I just meant like you're more easy to see.
Well, yeah.
You're gonna get shot down.
Well, there's that.
well, I mean,
I
I would
was
just
trying to
shoot
be
that
nice
guy that's
that time.
flying around.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
To be fair, it doesn't matter what color your jetpack is. That's kind of what happens.
I feel like if there was that, there would just be way too many double rainbow jokes. Just two guys
Oh no.
Oh, double rainbow.
all the way across the sky. So intense. Anyways, we need to wrap up. So thank you guys all for listening and watching us rant and rave about all the Vic Mignogna stuff and the LGBT and the things and the stuff. We appreciate you guys so much. If you want to find the podcast and us on Twitter, you can find all of the links to that in the description down below.
Do you forget how to talk?
The words coming out of your mouth.
Did I
Are
not
you
do it right?
stroking out?
I might. I have a headache.
If you want podcast on Twitter, fine.
Is that what I said? Is that what I said? Is that how I said it? Really? I'm sorry. Let me start over. If you want to find the podcast, social media, I'm dying. I'm fucking dying.
Let me
I can't
do
do this.
You
No,
wanna listen? All right. You get one more.
All right.
This is it.
That's all right.
This is your Rainbow
You can find the
Jetpack.
podcast on iTunes and Google Play as well as Podbean and Spotify. And we're also on Patreon. You can visit patreon.com/likeablegeeks and pledge to us and get a whole bunch of awesome things, including an option to hear the podcast early, audio portion, of course. But I think we're going to be changing that soon to where you can also watch the video a week before it gets released.
Also, whenever Matt and I finish a game, they'll probably
Yeah, eventually
get some
when they
stuff.
finish their game, it'll be up
We need
there.
to do
you
more
can
beta
get a beta
testing.
test. Or
We're
an alpha
close
test.
to we're pretty close.
We're
to
very
like a
close to
handout,
open beta.
to a handout.
Yeah.
So if you pledge, you can get a copy of their games. They've already done a couple play tests, and it's so fucking.
We still
fun.
need to finish.
It is so fun. We do need to finish.
Episode 3.
Honestly, the
It's
the
so
problem we
fun.
have, like we're not finished with the handout, is because I don't have a laptop currently, and every time I read what Matt's done, I like nitpick the shit out of it,
Oh my god, just use my laptop.
and like that's
So what you're saying
that's
is,
really the issue.
is if somebody can start a GoFundMe because of reasons, we can start a GoFundMe to get you a new laptop.
Buy Stuart a laptop, so he
Somebody
stops
ready
being
to start
a
a
dick
GoFundMe.
to Matt.
Somebody get a GoFundMe.
Because I see it every
started so we
time,
can
like
get him a laptop.
every time I'm like, I don't really like this sentence. Let me just, and I see you just internalize sigh.
Start a
And you're
GoFundMe, get him a laptop. Get him a laptop. GoFundMe. Get it. Somebody start that. Anyways, you can pledge to us on Patreon by visiting patreon.com/likeablegeeks, and you can pledge as low as $5. I think it's lower than that now, but yeah, get a whole bunch of awesome stuff from us for that. If you want to find any social media for the podcast or for us, those links will be down below. And
Chief Diversity Officer.
Chief Diversity.
We'd like to welcome our new Chief Diversity Officer, Joey.
Damn it.
Told ya. Suck it.
Yeah, dude, she's Mexican and a chick. She
Also,
wins.
fired.
There you go.
You can't fire
Like,
me.
dude.
You can't fire me. You
gotta meet-
work for me.
We got to meet a quota.
Oh, goodness.
I don't work for you.
Yeah, you do.
So thank you, everybody, for listening to us and watching. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Hey, man.